don't want to give any importance to the silliness that is and has been spread. Just the low vibration bullshit, the silliness, you know, of one, for example, is judging people by their skin color and stuff like that. It's just superficial things that really have no foundation behind what they are. It's just judging on superficialities. So people get hung up on these superficialities, and when I talk about skin color, I talk about just image in general. You might judge people just because they're dressed one way or another way, or they're looking one way, or they're working, or whatever. It's just all superficialities at the end of the day, and you need to cut through all that bullshit because it's taking up a lot of your mental RAM. You need to stop judging people by what they look like, you know, even or about your own looks. Stop worrying about too much about what you look like. As long as you're looking clean and you got clean clothes on and stuff like that, you don't smell bad, it's good enough, you know. Cut your hair and be fit, physically fit to look after yourself and to be able to work hard and stuff like that. That's my whole mindset. To be able to survive if you need to, you know, fight your way out of a life-threatening situation. I mean, if you're physically capable of doing and you're cognitively capable of doing so as well, then you should know how to fight. As a man, you should know how to fight, and you should actively seek out training, you know, whatever kind of training you like that gives you a little bit of enjoyment as well, and that inspires you to want to master it. For me, it was jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but I know not every single person in this world resonates with Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I know some people think it's boring or gay because it's two men, sweaty men, rolling around on the floor. It looks like they're hugging each other. So that's it. If you like boxing more, then train boxing. But you've got to, as a man, you've got to, if you're cognitively and physically able, you should, there's no reason you shouldn't know how to fight. You don't know how to fight nowadays, especially nowadays. You know, nowadays there's so many fight gyms everywhere. You need to learn a little bit of how to defend yourself, because that's it. It's partly your responsibility to be a provider, but also a protector, a server, someone that's like a superhero. That's, you should be your goal a little bit. If you're, like I say, like I keep saying, if you're able to, then that's partly your responsibility. You've been blessed with strengths and abilities that not everybody has, and it's your responsibility to then use them strengths and abilities responsibly, and that responsibility is to protect and serve. Anyway, the silliness, cutting through the silliness. I think you've got to have that North Star of just what's of priority, getting things done. That should be like the priority, the North Star of like what are we doing here, instead of the silliness of just hanging around waiting to see if someone reacts positively or negatively to your presence and stuff like that. You need to just not really care too much about that. You don't really care too much about the superficiality. Just get on with it. People are going to resonate, people are not going to resonate. Like I say, just got to get on with it. Just go. That's it. Your North Star needs to be that. Get things done. Prioritize task completion. Cut through the silliness. Cut through all the bullshit. Have a laser focus on the positivity. People out here are stuck in a daze. So you can't let their reactions or their frame even mildly affect yours. You've got to have such a strong frame that will then bring them into your frame and kind of lift them up. That's what you should be aiming for. And then a lot of people really, like, I'd say 90% of people, when they see that you're just like someone that's just a task completer, you're not giving time of day to the bullshit, they resonate with that. They're like, oh shit, yeah, I prefer to be on that vibe than on this lower vibe that I got infected with when I entered the workplace. from someone that's on a lower vibe, you know, someone that's not looking after themselves, that's on a destructive path, that then has to go and do their job because they have to maintain the bad habits that they have acquired. And that them types of people are not exactly positive influences to be around. So some people ain't got strong enough frame to block off all the negativity, and it kind of infects them, and then they're going about their day with the negative cloud over their heads, not realizing it's probably partly influenced because of the people that they've been forced to be around. That's just me calling it out for what it is. You've just got to cut through that's it. It's just so much bullshit in this world. Just fucking cut through it all. It's all fluff anyway. It's all like cloud, smoke and mirrors. It's like cutting through a cake. You just got to be like a sharp-edged knife, like a kitchen knife, cutting through a cake, because that's what it is, literally. That's how soft people are nowadays. If you're a little bit disciplined and focused, you end up being like a laser, especially if you focus on positivity and only positivity, just spreading the good vibes and cutting out all the bullshit and being a task completer. That's gonna turn you into like the kitchen knife, and you're gonna be cutting through the bullshit like as if it's just a cake. That's how easy it is to cut through the bullshit. But it doesn't come from one day to the next, really. I mean, you can enter that mindset, but then you've got to maintain it. You've got to work hard to maintain it. You're going to be battling heads with a lot of people for a long time before you can say that you've got a strong frame, or believe that you've got a strong frame. A lot of people are appreciative as well of it when they see that you're kind of elevating them. They like it, you know, they want it to rub off on them. And not everybody, but the people that ain't, you just don't even worry about it, you know. I mean, just carry on with your day. Not everybody's going to resonate with it. Not everybody's ready to be lifted out of the negative cloud that they've got over their heads, you know. Some people are like addicted to their suffering. Some people are identified with their suffering. If you take them out of their suffering, they don't know who they are. You just got to snap out of it. Snap out of it, you know, just get things done. There's a limited amount of time as well. You've got a lot of work to do. You've got a lot of work to do. So stop wasting time on silly bullshit. If your life's task is to do something that's worth achieving, you've got mountains of work ahead of you. And if you're wasting time on silliness, it's costing you millions, getting caught up in the bullshit. There comes a point where you've literally just got to decide, right, that's it, that's enough bullshit now. I'm not gonna engage with that shit anymore. Anyone that comes at me with any bullshit, I'm just gonna let it go, let it slide, and move past it. I'm not gonna get any shit on me, you know. It's just like, because sometimes when you're trying to react to it and stuff like that, it's like you're trying to clean a shit on the side of the road. You're gonna get shit on your hands, you know. Try and pick up the shit or whatever, and then your hands are going to be dirty. Even though you're clean and you're doing everything right, your hands are dirty. It's the same type of thing with your vibe. If you're mixing your vibe with other people's dirty, dodgy vibe, then your vibe's getting a little bit affected by it. So there comes a point where you just got to decide, no, that's it, that's it. That's like a before and after as well. Then a lot of people are going to be catching your wave. They're going to be jumping on your wave. They're going to see that you're resonating at a higher frequency, and that they don't know a lot of people that are resonating at that frequency, and that lifts them up. They like being lifted up. They want to be lifted up. They're ready to be lifted up. They want that. They're going to follow you. And you can be like their leader. That's what you want to do. You want to figure out what it is that you want to do, and then work towards that. People are going to follow and help, and whoever isn't helping or aiding, get on with their life. I'll tell you one thing as well about a benefit of being someone that goes straight to the point. This is not a generalization. You can't just now be someone that goes straight to the point 100% of the time in your life, because sometimes you are cutting off opportunities by being too rushed. So you've got to know when to be so direct and when to kind of pull back, but you should be able to identify certain situations. But then again, that's what I'm saying. So if you can identify situations, you can identify when someone potentially is a waste of time for you. So what you want to do is just go straight to the point with that person, not waste time like hanging around and trying to, with small talk. Be someone that's about their business. Now, like I say, this is not 100% of the time. There are times where you need to take your time with the process, and people need time to get to know you, and you get to know them. For the process to kind of unfold naturally. But that's not always the case with human interactions, business, relationships, etc. Sometimes you can save money and time by being super direct, figuring out exactly what that person is about within, 5 minutes or 1 hour, of sitting down and talking to them. But you really don't want to be out here spending days or weeks getting to know people just to find out that they're wasting your time, That's the benefit of being someone that's direct and straight to the point. You get to the rejection point, or to the, it doesn't have to necessarily be them rejecting you. It might be you rejecting them as well, because they don't align with the values that you have set for yourself and for your life. But you're saving time, and it's better. That's it. When you get to that point where it's yes or no decision type thing. If it's a yes, it's a solid yes, and if it's a no, it's a solid no, and that's it. You just move forward. Don't waste time. You could get to that point very quickly, or you could get to that point after a month. It's going to be the same thing. The yes or the no is going to be 99% of the time. It's going to be the same, and that 1% of the time is when, yes, you should have taken your time a little bit more. It would have been beneficial for you to not be so direct and straight to the point, because some people need a little bit of warming up time. Not everybody is set in their ways. Some people are able to make decisions quickly. Some people already know what they want to do with you, or what they don't want to do with you. So you're better off just getting straight to the point and finding out if that person is going to build something with you or not. If they are, perfect, and if not, perfect as well. If you figured it out quickly, you haven't wasted any time or money. That's the value in being a direct person, and in knowing who you are, what you bring to the table, what kind of values you have as a person, as a man, but as a person in general. This could be applied for women.